Hello, the internet, and welcome to another episode of The Spit Take. My name is Jack O'Brien. I'm the editor-in-chief of Cracked, the bastard stepchild of a 55-year-old humor brand that only ever existed because somebody in the 50s looked at Mad Magazine and was like, yes, me too. I stand here today on the shoulders of giants who ripped off other giants. I stand here on the shoulders of GoBots. In today's episode, we're making fun of musicians who thought they could just steal their biggest hits from other musicians without anybody noticing. And I'm gonna pretend to be mad at that, which would be ironic if I knew what that word means anymore. Now, it's important to point out that taking an idea and building something new with it is just how art works. That's not what we're talking about here. For instance, you know that killer riff at the beginning of Johnny Be Good that's like... Actually, yeah, just play it. Only way that song could be cooler would be if a white time-traveling teenager pretended to write it to get his parents in the mood to f him into existence. Chuck Berry didn't actually write that riff, he stole it note for note. For a totally new form of music that he was forging into existence with his bare hands like some sort of actual rock god.
Go, Johnny, go, go. Johnny be good.
Now, let's compare that to what the Beach Boys, the whitest people on earth, did with Berry's 1958 song Sweet Little 16.
All over St. Louis, way down in New Orleans, all the cats wanna dance with Sweet Little 16.
Sure, they removed all the charisma from the performance, added some goofy pants, but otherwise that's just a straight Weird Al parody of the Berry song. Except they had the balls to release that song with them listed as the writers a whole 5 years later. Now, Berry sued and got his name added to the list of writers, technically making him a Beach Boy. And to this day, we think of him and not the Beach Boys every time we hear Surfing USA.
I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die.
While other country singers were arguing over whose wife left who the hardest, Johnny Cash was singing about moping motherfuckers out in Reno just to watch them die. One thing is for sure, he did know a thing or two about theft, said David Caruso while withdrawing his sunglasses.
It's not an accident at all.
Have a listen to this 1953 Torch song called Crescent City Blues by not Johnny Cash.
I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling around a bend.
I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling round the bend.
When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son.
When I was just a baby, my mama told me, Sue.
I'm stuck in Folsom Prison.
I'm stuck in Crescent City.
When I hear that whistle blowing,
When I hear that whistle blowing,
I hang my head and cry.
I hang my head and cry.
I bet there's rich folks eating from a fancy dining car. They're probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars.
I see the rich folks eating in that fancy dining car. They're probably having pheasant breast and Eastern caviar.
Yep, he just took the melody, lyrics, weird obsession with the diet of train riders and transformed a song about loneliness into a song about loneliness in prison. Cash sang Folsom Prison Blues for 14 years before the original composer, Gordon Jenkins, heard him perform it on TV and was like, lawyers? At which point, our favorite country music outlaw quietly paid off Gordon Jenkins, effectively killing the story, just to watch it die. Michael Jackson didn't sound like anyone else, he didn't look like anyone else, and he didn't move like anyone else, except when he did. His trademark stage presence was actually just kind of a collage of cool shit he found. And while this one probably trends closer to inspiration than stealing, it'll give us a break from me being like, white guys, you bastards! And we get to watch people dance for a minute. Sound good? Mike saw the moonwalk on Soul Train and actually hired the dancers he saw do it to teach it to him. And it only took 3 days, a testament to his immense talent and the benefits of trying to learn the moonwalk for a full-time job. But it wasn't just the moonwalk. Think back about everything you remember about Jackson's stage presence. There was the hat, the glove, the dance moves that would lead to Corey Feldman's downfall. Pretty much all of it was cribbing from Bob Fosse. Here's Fosse dancing in a 1972 version of The Little Prince, a movie in which Bob Fosse plays a snake trying to tempt a young boy into killing himself by letting the snake bite him. Holy shit, now that I've said that out loud, that is creepy as f. Fosse starts off in a pose that looks like he's trying to sit on a chair that only has room for one of his butt cheeks, the exact pose MJ began every live performance of Billie Jean in. That weird neck and shoulder roll looks familiar. Just imagine a whole horde of zombies doing it after an overhead hand clap. Toe stand? Fosse. Shimmy walking dancey thing? Fosse move. Remember how Mike wore his hat pushed forward over his eyes like he was trying to catch some Z's while dancing? Classic Fosse. Jackson's main genius was just to wonder if people would be more into zombies than the phrase, all that jazz. At a combined age of 731 years, Led Zeppelin is just now answering for songs they may or may not have stolen 40 years ago. We don't have time to go over all the songs Led Zeppelin's been accused of ripping off, so let's just focus on all of their best songs. Dazed and Confused.
So long it's not true.
I'm dazed and confused, hanging on by a thread.
Taken from a song written by a man named Jake Holmes, who once opened for the Yardbirds, whose guitarist, Jimmy Page, might have heard it once or twice. Whole Lot of Love.
Inside, woman, you need love. You got yarning, and I got money.
Now keep in mind the members of Led Zeppelin went on to become quadrillionaires from their royalties, while most of the songwriters they stole from have spent the last 40 years dying one long, unfamous death in complete obscurity. Which brings us to Stairway to Heaven, a song that some people think might have been ripped off from an obscure progressive rock band named Spirit. Well, in 2014, members of Spirit filed a copyright infringement suit against Led Zeppelin, so let's listen to their 1968 song called Tourist to see if you can guess why they might be a little bit pissed. Oh, and Led Zeppelin also opened for Spirit in the 60s, and also legitimately covered some of their songs in later years. Man, I can't wait to see how that lawsuit plays out. Hey, thanks for watching The Spit Take. If you like it, click subscribe. If you have other examples of stuff that was stolen from other stuff, let me know down in the comments. If you know where I stole this entire script from, word for word, don't tell anybody.